Hey everybody, and welcome back to AvidMax Gear Reviews. As always, my name is Steve, and today we're going to take a look at the Great Divider bag from Patagonia. The Great Divider has been an item in the Patagonia lineup for a number of years now, and I myself have owned the previous version for a few years, and I'm excited to see some of my favorite features carried over into the new version, as well as some additional new features that I think are really going to enhance the experience to the user with the new Great Divide. So working our way kind of top down and outside in, let's get into some of the features and benefits, kind of finer touch points of this bag and the practical uses of them. All right, so let's start broad scope here and talk about the material itself. So it's a nylon base with a TPU coating. That combined with the zippered closure and the way that it's kind of got a shroud on the internal storage with the lid coming over top makes it very waterproof, not submersible, but very weatherproof overall. This material is great if you're like me and you want to use it maybe as like a carry-on bag or something like that. I've actually taken a Sharpie to mine, wrote my name and contact information on it if it should get lost or something like that, and that material is going to take it well. I've also used it on week-long overnight trips where we've had pretty severe rain, and I had my camera in there as well as some other electronics, and I wasn't even worried about it because this bag sheds the water so well. So that material is great for weatherproofing, and it also gives it some nice longevity if you're trying to get a bag that you want to use for years and years for a boat bag, general travel, keeping photo equipment in there, or anything like that. Sticking to the external features on this bag, we'll kind of work our way from the lid down. So you see that there's two large Velcro areas here. That's new for this version of the Great Divide bag. Great for keeping flies, letting them dry out if you don't want to put them into a fly box so you can avoid having them rust on the hooks or anything like that, or just keeping stuff at the ready. If you're like me, maybe you have a couple smaller fly boxes with some Velcro on there, you could actually slap that right onto the lid, keep it accessible. That's particularly nice if you are using it as a boat bag and you just need to get to something quick without digging into the entire bag. Moving away from that, you have a couple different attachment points here. Gear loops so you can keep a spool of tippet hooked on. You can attach really any kind of retention system, whether that's a zinger or kind of a bungee, something like that, or you can simply clamp the forceps on like I have done here. And then you'll notice that the same loops are on the back, but just with the addition of it having kind of the rod straps. So you could take these, you can move them to the front or back depending. You could probably even duplicate that if you needed to carry two rods on top if you're doing some traveling and you want to keep it as a nice neat package. These are adjustable so they can accommodate a wide variety of the rod tube diameters that you might have sitting around. And that kind of covers us for the lid. Onto the front here, another update to the closure of this bag is it used to be a buckle here on the front with kind of a bungee oriented strap, so it had some stretch to it and it clipped in. This one is an adjustable webbing, so you can just dial that length in, and it's also a magnetic closure. Pretty easy to just clip and unclip without having to pinch a buckle or anything like that. So that is another new update. Moving on to the side, I'll just rotate it for you. You still have the shoulder sling, which is removable if you don't want to use it. Sometimes I use this on my raft to go around pieces of the frame so that if we get a little tipsy, we can make sure that the bag isn't going anywhere, and you can kind of run this around to do that. You could also do that with any cam strap of your choice. Great for the traveling person, being able to sling it over your shoulder and not have to carry it by something else. The shoulder sling itself is another area where you could pin on forceps or a tool that you want to be handy. And then again, it is removable with a Velcro closure this time. Previously it was a carabiner clip, and now it's just Velcro onto that attachment loop. If you do remove it, there's just another place for you to clip in, say your tippet, that forcep, whatever you want. Then on the sides, you have these reinforced webbing handles. easy to pick up and manipulate, move around. And moving to the back, you have the same attachment loop that you do on the front there. Again, if you want to load this thing up with accessories externally, you absolutely can do that. And if you want to keep it super clean and use the inside storage, you can definitely do that too. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So getting to the interior of the pack, I've already got the zipper fully undone, so all that's left is just the magnetic latch. If we undo that, you'll notice right away that this is kind of a different take on how the Great Divider used to be. The lid kind of storage underneath was just loose like this and kind of always hanging out on top of the main body of the pack. But now you have the option to take the Velcro and tuck that directly under the lid and keep it up out of your way, so whether you're kind of just opening it up and you need to get into the main body of the pack, it's not going to be sitting on top there. So you can kind of pin it up and out of your way. So you'll notice we have kind of a mesh storage area on this side, zippered closure on that. We have a couple extra wrist spools of some leader material, extra pair of forceps, good spot for your smaller personal belongings, stuff like that. Now you've got kind of enclosed clear window type of storage area here. Again, with the full length zipper, we've just got some extra small fly boxes, some extra spools of tippet. This is a great spot, again, to put smaller tools and accessories. On my personal bag, I put a lot of leaders in here as well, some different floating options too. You can also keep kind of phone, wallet, keys. This is nice, so it's not going to get splashed on or anything, but you can at least tell that they're in there and know that they're safe and secure. So with the main body of the bag here, you can really custom tailor it to whatever you see fit. And that's what I really love about having this bag is depending on what kind of outing I'm doing, I can really just make it fit whatever piece of gear I'm sticking in there. And then this bag is always versatile and good for whatever mission I'm taking it on. So here's just one possible configuration. You've got 3 of the Velcro divider panels, as well as 2 of the Velcro kind of stash pockets. We'll kind of see what those look like once I get the whole bag empty, but let's kind of unpackage it and see what we got going on. So one way to configure it is to kind of leave a wide space in the middle. You can see I've only got 2 of the divider panels in here, kind of makes 3 main compartments, leaving the middle one wide. This is a configuration that I go to pretty frequently. I like using some organizer boxes like this. I keep some split shot, some float and sink type options for different leaders and different kind of hook assortments. I even use one to hold a variety of some small to medium sized streamers. That works pretty well. Continuing down the path of this middle area here, I've got an extra reel. You could keep some different spools in there if you're taking this on a still water trip. This is actually a really great bag for that, whether you are on a boat or even just kind of walking along the shore and setting up at a lake, pond, or reservoir. Works great for that. Got an extra layer in there. And then here you'll see our first glance at one of these Velcro storage pockets. So it's got a clear area there so you can kind of see what's in there. This one even has a little keychain loop so you can keep your keys in there. Again, making sure that they're not going to get any moisture, but you can take a look and say, hey, I know I got my phone, wallet, and keys. You can have peace of mind and get back to the important things that you're doing, like catching some fish, hopefully. And then you'll see that the Velcro track kind of runs all the way around here. So, you know, again, you can take these stash pockets and put them off to the side, or you can put them on kind of like the width of the interior of the bag. So whatever works best for kind of storing your boxes and your gear and keeping that stuff out of the way where it's not going to interfere with getting a box in and out. That's kind of why I put one to the middle, is if you have a larger streamer type box like this and you're trying to stuff into the side, if you've got some gear in one of these storage pockets along the side, it can be tricky to fit that larger box in there. So that's just one way that you might configure it for that kind of solution. And then again, you know, whether that's camera gear, a lot of small tools and accessories, a toiletry bag, whatever the case may be, you can put stuff in vertically, like I've got all these smaller fly boxes. I could also take those same boxes and lay them kind of on their sides like this and dump them in there, and I might be able to fit more gear using the vertical space of this bag. But there you have it. Here's our other stash pocket. This one does not have the little keychain loop, so if you have a preference on where you want to keep that one, just take note of it before you get it all set up. And here is the third Velcro divider wall that I have. These can be a little finicky just because there is so much Velcro that when they start to grab, they really do grab. But say I wanted to have these large areas on the side and then segment out a small kind of area in the middle, I would try to feed that in like on an angle like this, and then just kind of go one side at a time. So there you go. I could put some slim fly boxes in there if I want to. Maybe put this guy over to the left. Maybe taking my organizer boxes and sticking those in, and then taking my extra layer, feeding that down the side with the reel on top, a couple more small fly boxes, and maybe I just throw these guys on top too. As you can see, really easily customizable, super versatile, and a solution for anybody, you know, fly fishing, traveling, carrying some photo gear. Really, this thing is just the bee's knees for still water, river trips, overnights, you know, taking it out, camping. I've done that before. This thing is just awesome for carrying all the stuff that you want and need.